Welcome back, my duelist friends. Casual Duelist here, and as you can tell, my boy, the Time Wizard, is back with us. That can only mean one thing, my friends. It's time for an Imperial format deck list. So, with all that, let's get you out of here, my buddy. And I've got a 42 card deck list, and it's going to be a mix of some black sleeves and some orange. The reason is I wanted to show you guys that this is actually the upgrade for how I would be playing my previously done up treasure format Relinquished as we moved forward into the Imperial format. So, that said, I've gone from 40 to 42 cards. I'm not going to be showing any type of side deck, and this is not the deck I'm keeping from this format. So, keep all that in mind, and let's get you guys a list. First and foremost, Cannon Soldier. Absolute unit for the time period, and new to this deck, as you can tell, black sleeve. He's just good. It is going to help us as an outlet for our Change of Heart, Monster Reborn, any additional monsters that we have, like if we flip into any flip monsters. I'm kind of giving away that Magician of Faith is in the deck. Anything that we flip, Change of Heart, Snatch, Steal, that kind of stuff. Cannon Soldier is a great outlet to not leave ourselves exposed, while maybe even additionally pressing for some game damage. Again, I think one is optimal, not because of any like real reason, just like it's very searchable. This is like a time period where like I never have a problem getting a Cannon Soldier when I want to have Cannon Soldier. But I do want to see other cards more often. So again, one just works. An obvious upgrade for Imperial format is Jinzo. Jinzo to 1, super standard here. Again, you guys know him. He's a beast. Actually, he's a machine. Haha. Sorry. 2, Magician of Faith. We're carrying that forward. Again, the flip, recycle a spell is beautiful. And now that we have to deal with Imperial Order, sometimes it's necessary to make sure that we can get our spells off. One thing I did increase from the last build, I had 2, we're up to 3, is the Mechanical Chaser. Again, 1850, on 4-star is absolute game breaking at the time period. 3 Tomatoes, because again, Tomato helps a lot of the control aspect of this. It's one of the reasons we can safely just go into the Cannon Soldier whenever we want it. Plus, I love it. It's just a cool card. It's very iconic. The boss monster of the deck, 2 copies, Relinquished. That did not change. I suppose if I was running a side deck, the extra Relinquished and Ritual would be there. Do with that information whatever you guys want. Remember, you can only be equipped with 1 card at a time. He can only equip monsters to himself once per turn. And while he's equipped, not only is the equipment destroyed first, but you and the opponent both take the battle damage if there's battle damage to be taken. Since it's not speed duel, we can go ahead and like ram him into a larger monster, and then second main phase, take the larger monster's equipment. So just keep that in mind. It's all good stuff. Continuing on, we are going to still be running our 2 copies of Sangan. Again, it searches out a good majority of the deck. In fact, the only 2 things it will not search out are, I suppose maybe I should say 4, are the Mechanical Chasers and the Jinzo. Everything else is fair game in this deck. Next up, we're going to run 2 each of Senju and Sonic Bird. Again, Senju and Sonic Bird, very important. They're the reason that we run the Tomato to get the Sangan to add these. Senju is going to be adding us the Ritual Monster on a normal or flip summon. Sonic Bird, the Ritual Spell on a flip or normal summon. Is what it is. Very cool stuff. And then our last monster card will be the single Witch of the Black Forest. Because again, she did take a hit in between formats. Because again, people started to figure out, if you could tutor for the 1500 or less defense, everything in this deck is able to be pulled off the Witch. It almost makes it so like, if we were really savvy with this deck, we could increase the Sonic Bird and potentially the Ritual Spell and the monster, and cut out the Senjus altogether, because Sangan and Witch already search it, and we can get to those off of the get to those off of the Tomatoes. So again, there are some plays that you could do a little more savvy like, but this is how I would do this. This is like more, I don't want to say standardized, but like it's definitely more practical and definitely mid-range for the plays that you can do. And again, that's it for the monsters. We're going to move on to the spells. 2 copies of the Illusion Ritual. Again, you could maximize this. That could be part of your strategy. Again, at this point in time, this is the only ritual for Relinquished. We'll get new stuff later on. 1 Change of Heart. Again, perfect. You use this to either, I don't know, use it as the monster as your ritual offering. Use it as a tribute for the Jinzo. Tribute it off with the Cannon Soldier after running it against your opponent. Since you can go for face down, there are chances that you'll pull like your opponent's Maneater Bug. At which point, flip it, get the effect, and then get rid of it. Same thing with the Magician of Faith. Since you flipped it, you controlled it when it flipped. You go ahead and pull the card out of your discard pile. Then get rid of their Magician of Faith. So again, it's kind of fun. And I've absolutely played Change of Heart on Faith to flip it and get Change of Heart. It didn't happen often, but it has happened. It's statistically very plausible. Moving forward, single copy confiscation, because again, this time period definitely allows us into all of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Power 9. Same thing, Dark Hole 1, because that's what it's at. Delinquent Duo 1, because that's where it's at. 2 Heavy Storms. Why 2 Heavy Storms? Because the back row is so dirty in this time period. A lot of people weren't willing to pay half their life points. So when I was playing in this time period, like back in 2002, you didn't see as many people playing Solemn Judgment. You would see like Magic Jammer, though. Magic Jammer was a little more common at the time. I think we look at it in a like historically tinted lens, and we understand that Solemn Judgment's very powerful now. So like going back and playing into the format, it's a big deal to run them. Back in the day, it wasn't. So you'd have a lot of things like Trap Holes, Wabakus, Mirror Force, Call of the Haunted at this point. And if we're being 100% honest with each other, this is another great way for me to shed the equipment off of Relinquished to get a free pull of another one of your cards. Because this will unequip him. The monster that's equipped to him is being treated and behaving as an equipment spell card. For all intents and purposes. So it doesn't matter that it's your Dark Magician. I got this. So again, Heavy Storm, good stuff. Monster Reborn 1. And then again, MST 3. Little more surgically precise than hitting a Heavy Storm. Again, we can opt to do this to our own card. To go ahead and get rid of the equipment off Relinquished. To go ahead and select again. It's good for trying to smoke out where your opponent's cards are. Continuing forward, Single Pot of Greed. Good. Anytime you can play a free draw 2, you do it. Premature Burial. Pay 800, bring back one of your own monsters. It's like having a second Monster Reborn. And again, I think we should talk about this. Since this is a ritual deck, back then, if you did not play the ritual, and I mean this rule stands today, but if you didn't play the ritual monster properly, there was no Premature, there was no Monster Reborn, there was no Call of the Haunted for it. One technique, and again, you'll see me do this on occasion when I have access to Premature Burial, is I do like to use Heavy Storm, or not Heavy Storm, Giant Trunade to bounce it, since it has left the field, and the wording is the way that it is. I get to keep the monster and try it again. It's very important to me that people understand that that's how that works. It doesn't work that way with Call of the Haunted, but Call of the Haunted is worded so it won't work that way. It is what it is. Single copy of Geki, because again, you play what you can. Single copy of Snatch Steel, because again, same thing. Forceful Sentry at 1. Because again, like all the Power 9 were in this format. Like, these cards are still banned for a reason today. There's a reason, my friends. Going to traps, you got to get that Call of the Haunted. Call of the Haunted's great. Call of the Haunted for Jinzo is even better. Because it just doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? We can get it Jinzo back to the field and be just 100% fine. Single copy Imperial Order. Card the format is named after because it's just awesome. single Mirror Force because it is what it is. And of course, we end on 3 copies of Solemn Judgment. Now, this brings us up to a 42 card deck. Now, this is 100% how I, in 2025, would play this deck in any, like, Imperial format tournament. Just the main, of course. I would not be playing an extra deck of any sort. There was no tactical advantage to cheat it, or not cheating. There's a tons of tactical advantage in cheating, friends. Just the rewards of it are not worth the risks. What I meant to say was there's no tactical advantage in bluffing it out. It's not like in Speed Duel where we have Waking the Dragon, and even if we didn't have Waking the Dragon, you can make your opponent think like, oh, maybe he's going to play into this card or that card. So again, is what it is. Side deck would be equipped with a lot of stuff like Trunade, Fisher, Wabaku. Again, the additional Senju, the additional Sonic Bird, the additional Relinquished, the additional Black Illusion Ritual. I might even play Last Will and maybe another Cannon Soldier. Maybe a couple Man-Eater Bugs. A couple Walls of Illusion, perhaps. Wall of Illusion still kind of underrated for the time period. A lot of people still going to Giant Soldier of the Stone. Again, he's got the toughest defense, but he's also got the best attack of the defending monster cards. So yeah, this is just how I would update Relinquished. Moving into Imperial format, I hope that you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you have, consider giving us a like, comment, and a subscription. And either way, if you did enjoy us or you didn't, I still hope that you have a wonderful day. Seriously, go out, make some time for yourself today. You are worth it. And I don't know who needs to hear it, but somebody out there needs to hear it. So just understand you are worth it. I do hope to see you guys again this weekend. Got some more Speed Duel stuff coming up. And that's about it for today. You guys, I'll see you next time. Later.